Hi, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to give my quick take on Project Wolf Hunting. But before I do that, let me give you the synopsis, and this comes from AMC. During transport from the Philippines to South Korea, a group of dangerous criminals unites to stage a coordinated escape attempt. As the jailbreak escalates into a bloody all-out riot, the fugitives and their allies from the outside exact a brutal terror campaign against the special agents on board the ship. So this is a South Korean film, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's wild. It's definitely wild. It's um it's a fun, ridiculous movie, but it's cool. It's cool. It starts off, as a kind of criminal cop movie, and then it just morphs into a monster horror film, and so it's pretty cool. Different genres, and it sort of worked for this. It did work for this movie, but it's not perfect, but I did enjoy it. So the way the movie started was so back in 2016, they were doing this transport thing of Koreans, South Koreans, fugitives, criminals that fled South Korea that went to the Philippines, but now they're gonna extract them back, take them back to South Korea. So back in 2016, they were, but the transport was the an airplane, right? So they were gonna fly them back to South Korea. But as the criminals were walking through the airport, there's people outside, and one of them had a bomb. So the bomb went off, killed some of the criminals, but also killed and injured other innocent people that were at the airport. So now we fast forward to 2022, and they're doing this again, but this time they're going to use a cargo ship to to transport all the criminals back to from the Philippines to South Korea. And so they're using cops that been on the field for 10 years, and they're trying to be extra careful now, right, to try to avoid you know what happened in 2016. So then so we're they the cops escort the criminals into the cargo ship, put them in bays, or some of the rooms. So they're there, and it's a normal thing. But then we start seeing that the criminals have people that are workers in the ship, in the cargo ship. They're actually working for the criminals, and so they start you know killing some of the cops, and basically the criminals get free, and so it becomes like a criminal versus cops thing, right? They're where it becomes all they're all killing each other, right? So it becomes that movie, but at the same time, under beneath the cargo ship, in like the engine room, whatever, there's another story taking place, and so there's this body that's like all beat up, and just like it looks decomposed. It just looks all weird. It has like these like staples on its eyes, and it looks crazy. And it's on this respirator, and there's two guys that are basically looking after it. And so then there's also a the medic that that he so he volunteers to do this passage, right, to do this transport from the Philippines to South Korea, but he gets paid off by this genetics company. So the genetics company is the one that's doing that has the that kind of monster looking type of weird looking thing in the engine room. Um, and so he gets paid off by them to inject this like serum into the that body. And so that's like the kind of the project wolf hunting from that genetics company. And so what ends up happening is that that body is is from like 30 years ago, whatever, and it was like a, I guess, a criminal as well, and they were doing like experiments. I think that it's the Japanese that were doing experiments on bodies, and so they were like using trying to use them as like weapons, so they'll revive them, and now they have like what they explain in the movie. These people, or these, you know, yeah, these people that been experimenting on, they, you know, some live, some die. So, and the people that do live, they have like 5 times the strength of normal human, and so yeah, so, and they kind of they have more of a I don't know if a regenerative is the right word, but they can take more punishment, I guess you can say. And then, you know, they can take shots and hits and stuff like that. So that's what's happening, right? So then that monster comes alive and it just starts wiping everybody indiscriminately, just like, just wants to kill everything. So anything that it feels it's threatening, it'll just smash you and just this movie is bloody. Holy crap! But it's cool. I like it. I liked it. And so it starts smashing people, tearing limbs off people. Yeah, it's nuts, man. So it starts killing criminals. It starts killing cops. It's killing anything, anything and everybody. So so then there's another like special force that's like hired by the genetics company to make sure that that thing, that monster comes back. And so I'm thinking, I mean, it's weird. I guess I don't know if they expected the monster to come alive, or because in the movie the doctor says, "Oh yeah, they paid me to inject this thing, this monster every 6 hours." So I'm not sure if they expected the monster to come alive and just kill everybody to see if, you know, if it can, what it, you know, what it would do, or if it was just by accident that it woke up, right? So I don't know. That part was I'm unsure about, but yeah, this is wild, man. The way it turned from like a criminal escape type of movie and fighting the cops into monster horror, just killing everybody. And what I liked about this one, you know, some of the people that you thought were gonna, okay, they're the heroes, they're gonna live. They don't. They get killed, man. That's the crazy part. That's the part that I really enjoyed. Like there's only one person that survived, and that's one of the guys that was also injected, just like the monster. But the monster was like dead, and they kind of pieced him together. Like they sewed him up, and you can see like things on his. Like they just basically, like I said, sewed him up together. So he's like a walking zombie and like a mummy type of thing. And but he's just um the way they explain this with that monster, he was like suffering like from PTSD, and so he just goes off anything that it feels threatened by, and like any sudden movements, whatever, it will just kill you. So that's what it is. But then the genetics company kind of, I guess they modified the serum, and they kind of started, you know, perfecting it, I guess. So then all the people that they send like agents to the cargo ship, but they, you know, they inject themselves, so then now they have the strength as well, and their eyes turn like a bluish color. And so one of the prisoners, the one of the criminals, he has that. He was injected, but he was gonna be he was basically thrown away because they thought he was dead. They thought that it was a failed experiment. So he was gonna be thrown away. And so he was gonna be fed to pigs. Yeah, so that's crazy, right? He was gonna be fed to pigs, and but he woke up and he started, you know, he killed the people there, And so he basically one of the things that he did was he got himself into that cargo ship by killing some, I think, some cops. So, or some people, I don't know, I don't remember exactly. But he started killing people in order to get into that, in order to kind of, he wanted to, because he's trying to seek revenge against the genetics company. Because one of them, at least what he thinks at the moment, is that they killed his family. So he had I don't know if it was his girlfriend or his wife, but he had a child. So he had a child, and in the movie they made you think that, like, that one of the guys, like one of the head guys of the genetics company, or at least the officers or enforcers of the genetics company, they were made to think that he killed the baby. It's like a little toddler. So we're made to think that, but in reality, we find out later on at the end that he didn't, because then the baby, as the guy was gonna stab the baby, or slit the baby's throat, he sees that he sees the eyes of the baby turn blue. So I guess the genes or whatever of the guy, it's the guy in the top middle. So he survives. So it sort of is gonna be like a sequel, or it looks like it's gonna be like a franchise. So it seems like he passed down whatever, like, powers, if you will, to the baby. So it's, I guess it looks like, his DNA got, from the serum, got changed. So now it also transferred to the baby. So they have the baby captive, and so the baby now is like a 12-year-old or something like that. It's older now, because when that guy got experimented on, it was like, I think the kid is like 10, because I think they said, oh, it's been a decade and you haven't changed, right? I think that's one of the other criminals said to him, is like, oh, you have the baby face, you're like a baby face killer. You haven't aged in 10 years. You look the same. And that's because of the serum thing. But we don't find out until, like, sort of the middle-ish second half of the movie, that guy, was experimented on. And he has that ability. And so, yeah, so it's an interesting film. I would say, if you have if it's playing in your theater or close to you, I would say check it out, because I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not gonna be for everybody, because it's very bloody. It is very bloody. I will say that. And there's a lot of violence. But it's cool. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's kind of ridiculous but fun. It's a fun, ridiculous movie. Uh, and I would say, give it a shot. I think it's worth it. I enjoyed it, and if they do end up doing another movie, a sequel to it, I'm gonna watch it. I want to see where it's going, because it basically ended with like I said, at the end, the genetics company, they're I think they're back in the Philippines, and they show the kid. They're still experimenting on people, and they have the kid captive. But then we also see the guy, survive, and he's like in some island or something. And that's basically how it ends. And also, there's like, at least when I stay to the end, there's nothing at the end that'll show, anything for like the next movie, for what they're trying to do. So if you're wondering about that, there's nothing at the end. But yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy movie. I enjoyed it, and I would say give it a shot. So that's it for my review. And if you enjoyed this, feel free to give it a like. If you enjoyed my other content, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.